Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the participants who has joined today on Sunday morning, 6 a.m. India Standard Time. Warm welcome for this today's session.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, good
Good morning.
morning.
This is Rakesh here.
Yes, Rakesh, good morning. You're joining from North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. So we
Okay.
will, yeah, please go ahead.
No, go ahead. Carry on. Right.
So, as usual, so we will start the session with the meditation, 35
Mm-hmm.
minute meditation, and then followed by the wisdom session. Okay.
Sounds
All
cool.
right.
Okay.
Okay, friends, once again, a warm welcome to everyone who has joined across the globe. And this is a platform where we connect every week on Sunday, 6 a.m. So this is where we meditate and we listen to the wisdom sessions by the different speakers, and we clarify our doubts, which help us through in our spiritual progress. So this is where we bring the spirituality and the science together. And also this program is collaborative effort and hosted by International Federation of Spiritual Scientists, Shambhala Solutions, Breath Universe, Joyce Oneness Inclusive, and Omega Pyramid. So this week program is hosted by Joyce Oneness Inclusive, and my name is Sirisha, and I'm joining from New Jersey. Um, so friends, without any delay, let's start meditation. I hope everybody, found their spot and they are sitting in a comfortable posture. Please sit very comfortably. Whether you're sitting on a chair or a floor or on sofa, just be relaxed. Make your body very, very comfortable. Clasp your fingers. So if you're sitting, so clasp your fingers together like this and cross your legs. So let's take a few deep breaths just to make our body relaxed. Take few deep breaths if needed. Take out your specs. If anybody wearing your specs, please take them off. As we will be closing our eyes, we won't need the spectacles. Gently close your eyes. Let's scan our body from head to the toe. As we are scanning through our body, relax all the body from head, eyes, cheeks, neck, shoulders, hands, stomach area, leg muscles, toes. Let's scan through the body and relax. Let's make sure there is no tension in the body. And slowly, gently, Observe your own breath. Inhale and exhale. Observe the sensations on the body created by the breath. Observe how your belly is raising, expanding. Just breathe naturally. Let's not fight with the breath. However, we are breathing, let's be natural. Just observe incoming and outgoing breath. Thoughts will come and go. Let's not fight with the thoughts. Let's be an observer of our own thoughts. Let's not give energy to any of the thoughts. Come back to your breath. Whenever you have any thoughts, come back to your breath. Always remember to come back to your breath. Natural, inhale and exhale breath. Background music will help us to go more deeper and deeper in our meditation. Always come back to the breath and observe the incoming and outgoing breath from our own nostrils. Let's intend to be in this state of meditation for next 35 minutes. Be with your breath, dear friends. Come back to your breath, dear friends. Observe the natural flow of your own breath. Be with your breath. Be with the breath, dear friends. Last 10 minutes. Let's be all with the breath. Come back, dear friends. Be with the breath. Last 3 minutes. Just be with your breath. We come back, dear friends. Slowly come back, dear friends. Let's be aware of our own surroundings. Slowly and gently, at your time, unclasp your fingers and keep it on your face for a few seconds. Slowly open your eyes whenever you're ready. Thank you, friends. I hope everybody are back from the meditation. Thank you and lot of gratitude to all of you for doing this meditation. So friends, let's get into the next section of the today's session, wisdom sharing, and today's topic is introduction to Swara Yoga. So to talk about this topic, we have our speaker, Rakesh Junalgada from North Carolina. Hello, Rakesh. Good evening.
Hello, good evening. Good morning to everyone.
Yeah. So before I just hand over, I just want to give a quick intro about Rakesh sir. So Rakesh sir is a spiritual speaker. He has been practicing meditation for over 15 years, and he has explored various pranayama techniques and kriyas and other healing modalities. So we would like to hear Rakesh sir. So what this Swara Yoga is all about and how this connects with the meditation. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Sirisha. So, yep, hope you all have had a very wonderful meditation session. I believe most of you guys have been meditating for some time, right? In this group? Yeah, wonderful. So while you guys meditate, we all observe our breath. That's one of the core aspect of our meditation. So while observing our breath, can anyone tell me what do they actually observe? Like, the flow of breath. When it comes to flow of breath, does anyone want to share? what their observation is in particular.
I mean, I can tell normally observation starts for me for like any pain in my body, physical pain or how I'm sitting. Or sometimes there'll be pain relating to the head, nose. So the more awareness comes at that part, and then
Yes,
slow,
right.
slow, yeah.
Yes. So that's how our observation actually it moves through different parts of the body. But specific when it comes to the flow of breath, did anyone would like to share their observation if anyone has paid some attention to the flow of breath?
Yeah, I think Vikal ji has something to share.
Yes,
Yes.
please, Vikramji.
Hey, hi Rakesh. Good evening to you.
Thank you.
So it's kind of a, almost 2 year I'm in the meditation practice, and so there are two aspects. What I feel is in the meditation is one is how long you are going to sit and saying that I'm meditating, but the fact is that how long you are going to observe and feel the sensation of your breath and being with that is the real meditation. So if I look at and distinguish between those two parts, I can sit for an hour, 2 hour, and recently I tried to, sit for 2.5 hours. But the
Mm.
actual, without any digression or distraction of the thoughts. So thoughts will keep coming and going, but it is very, very, very tough to, not to give the attention to the thoughts. The moment you engage in the thoughts, you are into fantasy and, in the fictions and all. But the you have to come back to the reality and then again start observing the breath. And how do we observe the breath? We try to, feel the sensation when the breath air is flowing in or coming out, it is giving some sensation. So be focused on that particular point. And the moment you realize that, you have gone to some fantasy or some fiction, please come back. That's what we do and feel.
Right. So when we feel the sensation of the breath, did anyone observe if the breath is flowing through both nostrils or is it through a single nostril? How many did
So,
observe that
so we,
particular part?
we, we observe regular. I observe regularly, sometime it is from the right, sometime from the left, sometime from both. So, it's kind of, keep varying and changing. So
Yeah.
generally in meditation, the, teachers and all master says each and every breath is unique. No two breaths are same. So maybe, going from left or coming out from right and all those kind of things are happening.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good observation, Vikalji. You're right. Given any point of time, 24 hours in a given day, most of the time, if we observe, the breath is either flowing through the left nostril or the right nostril. And very, 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 very few minutes in a given day, the breath actually flows equinomously through both nostrils. That is how the rhythm of the biorhythms of our 24-hour day cycle is structured. And today, what I'm going to talk about specifically is about this particular aspect about the left versus right nostril breathing. This is definitely a very ancient science. To give a small introduction about it, there is a book that was discovered in Tamil Nadu some hundreds of years back. It is called Swarodayam, something like that. It's basically a discussion between Lord Shiva and Parvati, where Shiva was explaining about the science of Swara Yoga, and that's the whole book is about. And out of that, today I'm just going to talk few things about it. It's a very elaborate subject. There is a science behind it and a lot of uh, depth into it, but it will not be possible for me to talk about all of it. Even I'm exploring. This is practically, I wouldn't say new to me, but yes, still a lot to go and understand about it. So what I have understood till now is what I'm going to present it today. Okay. So everyone, I think at this point might have at least a little bit understanding about Ida, Pingla, and Sushumna, right? Yeah, someone raised their hand. One of the participant. Okay, no one. So we all know. whenever we take breath from our left nostril, basically the Ida nadi is active, and whenever you take breath from your right nostril, it's your Pingla that is active. But whenever the breath flows through both of the nostrils, it is the Sushumna that gets activated. And as a spiritual aspirant, we all know the importance of Sushumna Nadi. When your Sushumna Nadi is active, that's what when they say is a time when the possibility of Kundalini awakening is high. So as a meditator, when we go into depths of meditation, when we meditate for long hours, our Sushumna Nadi becomes active. And how does it becomes active? Because first, as a part of meditation, we understand that there is a cleansing that is happening among all of the nadis that are present in our body. And after certain amount of practice, once our nadis get purified, gradually and naturally, without any force, when the breath starts entering the Sushumna channel, slowly, 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 even the Kundalini awakening starts happening. And as a spiritual aspirant, this is one thing that we also aspire for. We want to go into deeper states of meditation. We want to understand our true potentiality and, explore all the depths that are and the knowledge and the wisdom that is stored inside within us. But that is good. We want to evolve spiritually. We want to experience the higher states of mind. All these things is absolutely good. But there is also something else that this Swara Yoga particularly talks about. It says how to actually conduct ourselves in a day-to-day life. You know, After we are done with our meditation, we have our daily duties to do. We want to buy something. We want to go out. We want to travel. We eat. We meet people. Sometimes things go possibly wrong. Sometimes things go very smooth. When everything that is happening around us goes very smooth, we feel happy about it. And if things doesn't go bad, if things doesn't go really well, then we start questioning things. Sometimes we might not accept it. And sometimes, we try to different kinds of emotion, emotes out based on different, how do you perceive that particular situation? Okay. Now, whenever something is not happening according to our wish, sometimes we blame it on prarabdha karma. Maybe because my previous karmic action is might have been this particular thing. That's why today, this particular situation is not acting out perfectly and all that. So sometimes we blame it on our karma, sometimes we blame it on someone else. Depending on our maturity, different people, try to perceive it differently. But this whole Swara Yoga science, it talks about how to basically negate and nullify those karma. You know, so when you talk about karmas, also, coming to a separate point, we all know that we are all governed by our planets. We, as at time of our birth, there is a birth chart. There are certain planets that are governing around us, and we have those planetary influences in our mind, and those influences are actually making us act in a certain way, behave in a certain way. This is also one of the theory that we hear about. And we also hear that, of course, if you go and if you meditate deeply and all that will become secondary, because as we evolve, our energies become higher, the planetary influences will not affect you, as much as it is. So the Swara Yoga science is basically about understanding the biorhythms of the nature, the Swara cycles, and it's actually merging yourself or integrating yourself with that biorhythms. Okay. So this basically is helping you in conducting yourself better in a day-to-day situation. As we'll go further, I'll explain simple things that we can do, how it actually benefits us. But before that, we need to understand that each day in our tantric text, they say each day is actually governed by a certain graha. And for each graha, there is a certain lord. They call it as Adipati. Okay. So technically, if you understand like who in this particular day, we have this particular devata or this graha and this adipati and all. And if we follow into those particular patterns, we basically are aligning ourselves to that. And that's how we are able to bypass all the karmic patterns that are actually stored in for that day that we are about to experience. A simple technique, what they say is, there is a saying that before you basically go out, you check your swara. And once you check your swara, depending on which nostril, when they say you check your swara means you will actually check which part of your nostril is active. And based on that, you would come to know yourself whether that particular action that you're about to commit to is will it work for yourself or not. That is all about the basics of Swara Yoga. So we all know left sometimes is active, right sometimes is active, and sometimes Sushumna is active. So what the tantric text says that whenever your left nostril is active, you should be doing certain things which will help you out, which are beneficial, and you should not be doing certain things when your left nostril is active, but you should be doing those things when your right nostril is active. Okay, so simple example is um, you're taking a bath in a cold water. And if your left nostril is active, let's say you checked that your left nostril is active, and you went ahead and you take a bath in the cold water, the chances are that you might catch cold. The chances are higher. But let's say that if your right nostril is active and if you're taking bath in cold water, it is not going to affect your health because it is balancing it out. Similarly, if your left nostril is active and you're eating ice creams, basically you are cooling your body more, because left nostril is always, they say Chandraswara. Right nostril, they call it as Suryaswara. So whenever left nostril is there, your Chandra is actually related to cooling and Surya is related to heat. So if you're doing anything that is basically, generating more heat, it is basically you're amplifying that particular energy in your body, which might be not good for you. So there are certain things like that. If you can actually observe in your day-to-day routine, you can actually mold your uh, day-to-day actions. So that's one aspect of Swara Yoga. Second thing is, if you're actually meditating, you should always meditate when your Sushumna is active, or when there is the prana is flowing through Sushumna. At that particular point of time, the meditation becomes more and more effective. If you're trying to meditate when your mind is more active, the chances of going into deeper state of meditation will take time, because you have to first settle down your mind slowly, slowly, slowly. Once the mind settle down, basically then you are going into deeper states of meditation. So what is happening there also is, if you're sitting for long hours, or let's say for an extended period of time, and when your actually thoughts are slowly, slowly, slowly diminishing, there is actually internal, the cycles are also changing. Your breath, which was, let's say, it is more left dominant while you sat in meditation, or more right dominant, it is so slowly balancing itself out. And that the outcome of that is, you feel that yes, you have experienced deeper states of meditation, but that takes more amount of time. So one thing, also, for any regular practitioner, what we do is we just daily go about, we don't mind, we are really not observing the breath and all that. But as a spiritual aspirant, not just while doing meditation where we observe the breath, but every point in a given day, you should always be mindful of what your breath patterns is. In our Sanskrit text, what they say is, every day, let's take Sunday, you are early in the morning, your Surya Swaram should be active. Monday, your left nostril should be dominant. Tuesday, your right nostril should be dominant. So it always keeps on alternating. So whenever you are getting out from the bed, if you want to, integrate yourself to the actual biorhythms of nature, you should always check your swara, what is active. So currently, let's do a small experiment. Just everyone can just hold their hands like this and breathe out forcefully. Okay, just once is enough. And tell me, what nostril do you feel is dominant more? Anyone?
Or you can put it in chat.
Yeah, that just an observation. Whether you are able to feel your breath, where you are able to feel it. Yeah, for some it is left, iPhone 42. Right, right. Yeah. So see, At this point of time, even for a single individual, it keeps on changing. For some of them, it is left. For some of them, it is right. Let's take the timestamp here. I think it is what time it is in India right now?
It is
Around 6:45, 7.
close to 7. Yeah.
Around 7. So this is actually time, it's a sunrise time. And today that is Sunday in India. So technically, your right nostril should be active at this point of time. But as you can see, for some people, some of them are left dominant, for some of them it is right dominant. So based on that, even you would come to a conclusion that how your day could, go about. You woke up in the morning and says today is Sunday, your right swara should be active at the time of waking up. But you figured out that your left swara is active. That's an indication that few things in our day could not possibly go right in the manner that we expect. Okay. So our swara itself is giving us an indication right beforehand that how our day could go. Similarly, if you're about to catch cold, if you constantly observe your swara, you would see that your left nostril is actually active for longer periods of time. Technically, as per some text, they say that the swara switches daily after a certain period. Some they say it's 1 hour, some they say it's 1.5 hour to 2 hours. But for everyone, it doesn't stay in one site for a long time. No one it will be just Surya Nadi or Surya Saram for 6 to 8 hours. It cycles, and it cycles in a pattern of between 1 to 3 hours. It's different to each individual, but it does rotate between these two nostrils. So let's say, but if you have continuously having left nostril is your dominant, then that's a sure sign indication that you might be catching cold pretty soon, right? So these are some simple techniques. There is definitely a book I would recommend everyone to read that is called Swara Swarodvayam, and there is a Swara Yoga treatise. These are popular books that are available, I think, in English and Hindi also, and most likely in Telugu. And these are all available freely on internet. You can buy books in Amazon also. But these are really good books that if one wants to explore more deeply into it, they can understand more about the Swara Yogam. So, so how do you basically start practicing it? Every day before you wake up, you should know what day it is. If it is Monday, at the time you wake up, your left nostril should be active. If it is as this I have told, a couple of minutes ago, every day the cycle alternates itself and it resets back on Sunday. Every Sunday it is always Surya Nadi. Every Monday it is always Chandra Nadi. Now, when you woke up and you figure out that, okay, your right nostril should be dominant, but your left nostril is dominant, then what should you do? Here, the next step comes is how to manipulate and control swara. Now we understood that, you know, all these cycles and all these things, but the good part is you can actually control and you can manipulate according to your whole will. That's the beauty about it. If you see our rishis, all the pictures that we see around, all the sages and rishis, they actually hold some kind of a stick. You call it as yoga dand. They use it for japa chanting and all. Correct? We think that basically it is for japa chanting, but actually the main purpose of that yoga dand is actually to manipulate the flow of breath. If you actually put some pressure over here for extended period of time, you can actually alternate the swara between your nostrils. So they used to actually shift between left and right, depending on the use case, what they are doing, and they were able to manipulate their swaras. So that's one practice. So even that's one practice. And second thing is, yes, if your right is active, just close your right nostril and just start do pranayama on your left nostril. And after certain amount of time, your left nostril will be active. And that's how you're able to manipulate and change the swaras. So depending on what would say, how clean our nadis are, the switch would become instant. For yogis or for people who are into deep practice, within a minute, they're able to change or switch the swaras. Some yogis will be able to do it in just the power of thought. But some Like most of us, it might take 15 to 20 minutes to actually change the flow of swaras as needed. One of the technique is, yes, you can put some pressure over here, or you can put some pressure directly under your elbow. If you want your right nostril to be active before getting up, you can sleep to your left side. So you would face the pillow on the left side. So your right nostril is open, and that you can activate your right nostril. There are techniques given on how to switch swaras. So we one need to understand that and practice that, and those that would bring about changes in your day-to-day life. So, any questions till here, or would you like to ask anything? Okay. A few more things. What they say is, if your right nostril is active, that means your digestion would be good. That's a good time for you to eat food because it would digest better. If you're having food when your left nostril is active, the chances of food getting digested is not good. If you're stepping out from your house, it is always better that you check which nostril is active and you should put your corresponding leg outside. So that means whatever is going to happen, you're actually basically neutralizing everything. They say if you're actually stepping out, if your left nostril is active, that means whatever task that you're going to do will be successful. But if your right nostril is active and if you put your left leg outside, then that is you're actually contradicting it. So if we do any those kind of unmindful actions, we might invite some troubles that are basically stored in our prarabdha for us. So the guidance is, yes, use your right nostril even when you're getting up. On Monday, let's say your left nostril should be active. So if your right nostril is active, just for a couple of minutes, close your right nostril, open up your left nostril and put that left leg down. So these are the techniques. There are many more techniques and much to talk about in that book. But I would just like to share my thoughts and give a small introduction about what Swara Yoga is all about. So definitely, I would suggest everyone to explore more on this subject, read more books, and then there are of course many Siddha gurus that are available who can go and explain more depth into it. Yeah, the book name is Swara Yoga Treatise. Then also there is Swayodhya or something. I can actually share that actual book names, but
Is it Shiva Swarodaya?
Swarodaya, yeah, Swarodaya.
Okay. Is it book written by Satyananda Saraswati?
Yes, I think that's the translated book that we have.
Okay.
There are a couple of authors who have written this on this subject, and even YouTube is one a good source right now because there are many other. There are definitely certain masters who have uploaded nice videos on YouTube. You guys, I would definitely encourage you guys to go ahead and talk about it. So it's an interesting subject to explore. So one thing is certain, they say that if your sushumna is active, that's the best time for you to do any kind of spiritual practice like japa, prayer, or meditation. They advise not to conduct anything that is outwardly or materialistic in nature. If you are about to fight a court case, they always say that, or if you're signing some document, you should always do when your right nostril is active. Then the chances of winning is higher. If you're about to meet someone, if you're about to have a friendly conversation with someone, you should always do when your left nostril is active. If not, change or manipulate your swaras before doing that. And the outcome would be more favorable to us. So, lot many what we call chitkas or small techniques are there in that book. So, feel free to explore.
Those are wonderful facts, Rakesh. I was just before having this session, like a previous week, I was just browsing through internet, and I've actually read this, these, left and right nostril, how it is cold, heat, sun, and the moon.
Hmm.
It's a very interesting facts actually. So the simple question from my end would be like, see, now I know what is this about, right? But there are a lot of people who are not even aware of all this. So what do you advise, and what will and and what will be their impact if they are actually getting into a conversation or like stepping out of the house. So what do you advise for them?
See, the simplest thing what we can do is observe the swara. Let's say I'm waking up in the morning, observe my swara. You can either do two things. You can manipulate it to the swara that is supposed to be for that day. Okay. And you do it for a certain amount of time and you put that leg. Or to neutralize everything, just to simplify, whatever swara is active, use that right hand or right leg as your dominant thing. If you're writing something, of course, we can't write with our left hands. Let's say just you're doing some kind of signature or something. If you're stepping out of the house, use your right leg. If your left nostril is active, use your left leg to step out of the house. So simple things, these will actually nullify, but well, other things that we spoke about is when there are actually too many things to talk about. Basically, the science is so deep that even based on if someone asks you a certain question, you would first observe your swara and you should be also understanding what that other person's swara is. And based on this two combination, you can actually determine what would be the actual outcome to that question or what would be the actual answer to that question. Those are too deep. I'm not even yet proficient enough and I haven't explored all that kind of thing. That is, to me, is something far-fetched right now. But these are basic things that we can actually try to incorporate in our life. So this is all, just an experiment, small experiments that you all can do.
Yes,
But
definitely.
understand, yeah, this is flow of prana. We are observing the flow of prana. We are not trying to, of course, we are manipulating and controlling it. But let's say if your natural state, if you are actually your nadi mandala is clean, your prarabdha is clear, it should always align itself with the natural flow of the nature. So as we go deeper and deeper within, it is actually going to you would find fewer and fewer circumstances where your cycles are different from the daily 24-hour biorhythmic cycles from the nature. So this is a good indication to understand. Now, um, all this material is available online. Definitely, there are teachers and institutes who teach much better. For this context, I would not try to go into deep about it. But yeah, feel free to go and explore. Yeah, Lata ji, any questions? You raised your hand.
Yeah, before unmuting Lataji, I just have one question. Can you share like your personal example where you have applied these techniques and what was the outcome, your personal experience?
Hmm. To sum up simply, I would say uh, my day-to-day life is just smooth enough. It's very smooth. To sum up, I would just say that. So whatever, small things here and there, whatever, okay, I want this. Sometimes I just wonder, small examples. Now, I don't want to share too much about it because that might probably set some false expectations. Okay, just trying to limit myself. If I do wish for smaller things, something, let everyone is saying that let's go to this restaurant today, and I have a different opinion, and I really want to go this. The outcome has always been favorable to my end. These are the small experiences that I can share. So it has happened many a time. Sometimes even it surprised me also. So, and sometimes it has happened in the very beginning because see, once you start becoming more and more mindful about all these things, right, you start also noticing small things. So things might have happened before, I might have not noticed it, but definitely after doing this, it has there are the number of instances where things have been favorable to my end is more. Small things, I'm not saying huge things, small things like that. So
Great, wonderful, Rakesh. Yeah, I will unmute Lata. Yes, madam.
Um, Thank you, sir. This is completely new to me, new subject. First time I'm knowing about this. How do you know about how means when? How do you know about this?
I came, so I came across this through one of my friend couple of years ago. I did not pay much attention to that at that point of time because it was new to me, and even I did not believe it. First of all, who would just get up in the morning and start doing this? That was like, okay, not for me now. But last year I did. I have joined a particular Kriya course where we do pranayama. And that Guruji is basically is an enlightened master, and he started explaining about the swaras and all. It was mostly about pranayama. The thing that we do is mostly pranayam, and while explaining the importance of pranayama, where we actually direct our prana shakti to a particular area in our body, right? Through nadi shodhana, through all different pranayam techniques that we all heard about. We might have heard about many pranayam techniques. So he also started explaining about Swara Yoga. He did not go much deep into it. He just gave few tidbits here and there what we should do, like small things like what I have shared few of them now. But that got much interest, and I started exploring deeply. Then I found few people who are actually teaching this. So that's how I started my journey. It is pretty recent, I would say around 6 months or so.
Oh, so sweet, sir. So, like, how do we know which one is active, sir?
Just put
Left
your
or
mouth like this and you just breathe out. You would know.
Mhm.
Or do like this.
Okay.
So once you are left your right nostril, and sometimes you might feel that both of your nostrils are active. That would happen when there is a shift between one nostril to other. So temporarily,
Okay.
both nostrils would be active.
Okay, got it, sir.
Yeah. So even
Thank
when
you.
we do meditation and all that, if you do a little
Mm.
bit of pranayama, you can actually activate your Sushumna Nadi. So any kriyas that people do, let's say even um, this YRF Foundation, they teach some different kriyas, right? Any type of pranayama technique you do, where you involve your both nostril, nadi shodhana, and all these things, you would basically activate your Sushumna Nadi. So you can do a complete nadi shodhana and all that, and then once you sit into meditation, definitely that would take you into deeper states much faster
Mm-hmm.
because you are consciously activating your Sushumna.
Okay.
Pranayama by itself, see, this whole subject of Swara Yoga is you are trying to understand what your daily breath cycles are, and you are trying to align yourself with it. Okay, so this has more materialistic aspect of it. If you want more people to listen to you, you know, if your speech wants to make a particular impact, if you are doing it while your right nostril is active, it will be more impactful than the other way around. These are for these things. Pranayama is more about where you consciously direct your breath to a certain region in your body, to a certain energy center, and then you unlock the potency of that particular things. So that's a whole different thing. Again, very interesting too.
Okay, sir. Next class we will
Oh, yes,
know
complete.
about. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
So I'll unmute iPhone 42.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much. I've never heard this before, but so if we align your nostril for the day, like Sunday is right, and you
Mhm.
put your right foot out when you step out of the house or step out of
Right.
bed,
Mhm.
things work smoothly for you. Is that correct? Is that yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
That's the theory.
that's scary. I got it. I'll try it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
So it's always uh, see, Sunday always Surya Swaram or
Yeah,
right nostril, and
yeah.
it's going on, it's will alternate until Saturday. Saturday again it will be Surya Swaram for you, and Sunday it is going to reset. Sunday again it's going to be right.
So Saturday, Sunday is Surya.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm.
And if you're waking up, let's say 3 hours early, all you guys are good meditators, and I definitely feel that many of you will wake up before 6 a.m., before sunrise,
Yeah,
4,
yeah.
5 a.m. to meditate. At that point of time, definitely you might always see that swaram will be not in align with that, that the morning 6 a.m. thing. At that time, just consciously do before you get out of the bed. Let's say you woke up at 4 a.m. in Sunday, uh, sorry, 4 a.m. Monday morning, and you still say it is your right nostril is dominant, while Monday supposedly
Oh,
is from
okay.
6 a.m. your left nostril is dominant. So just switch your, do some Chandraswaram, Nadi Sodhana, or whatever you call it. Just
Mm,
breathe it from your left nostril for a few minutes, step out of your bed. You
mm,
are preparing yourself for that particular
for the
upcoming day.
day. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Gupta ji had some question. He raised his hand.
Yeah, Rakesh, I think partially you have already answered that question. My question was that let us say on Sunday, your right nostril should be active, but it is left nostril is active and you are moving out of your house, stepping out. So you keep your left step first out. But actually, ideally, the right nostril should be active on Sunday, but your left is
No, no,
there.
no.
So,
So here it is.
yeah,
First of all, your cycle in a given 24-hour day, it keeps on switching. The
okay.
time that we take is Monday morning, 6 a.m. onwards. Whenever the sun starts rising, is when you start considering. So Monday morning, let's say 6 a.m. is sunrise, your left nostril should be active. Maybe it will be active for
Oh,
1 2 hours
only at the time of waking up or at the sunrise time,
at the time of
not for the
sunrise.
entire day, because the entire
The
day will
entire
keep
day,
changing. Yeah.
it will keep on changing.
Okay,
The, the,
okay, okay.
the second thing is before you commit to yourself to a particular action, check your swara and do that appropriately. So that's the second thing. If you want to go out, if your right nostril is active, just put your right leg and go out.
So
If
is
you
there
want,
any, some guide or something where you know the do's and don'ts, if the right
so
is
there
active
are
or
books,
not,
there are books
left is
about
active?
it. Yeah. So if you read those books, you would get more into it. And depending on the interest, you guys can explore more. There are teachers who are willing to explain more about these things and also, but that I will leave it to your
Yeah, yeah, I
interpretation.
understand you are also new to this only, so exploring
Yeah,
and
I've
journey
been
is on.
practicing
So
it for
yeah,
6 months. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Vikalji. Yeah, friends, any questions or you want to share anything, any doubts, please raise your hand or put it in the chat. These are very interesting facts, Rakesh sir. It's small tips, a good start for experimenting. I would say.
Yeah, yeah. We can experiment a lot with our prana. The more we understand the flow of prana and all these things, and the power of bija mantras and all these things, definitely there. It's an interesting subject. It's a whole tantric. Uh, we call this as tantra. The actual tantra science is all of this.
Correct.
We actually do experimentation with ourselves. We are the yantra. We have the mantra, and the whole action is the tantra itself.
Perfect,
So
sir.
it's a combination of all these three.
Yeah. Perfectly said. Yeah, I don't see any more questions.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak. A wonderful audience.
Thank you, Rakesh sir. It's so
Thank you.
wonderful and very, lot of facts we have learned in this session, and we would like to learn more about it. Whenever you can let us know. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
friends. Thank you, friends. We will connect you with you all next week at the same time. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.